Hello, sunshine.
Oh, man. I love that. Oh, man. Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys and you wonderful ladies, this literally does not work. Happy Saturday evening, friends, and shout out to my man Ron Oliver, who sends me all kinds of samples, and that was, of course, one of the samples there. Makes me happy, makes me cry. I love it. Thank you. Check out Tower Lights Records. Because he's doing a great job in doing some of these remixes and things. And it's Saturday evening. We are about 19 days away from the draft. Literally 19 days, or actually 3 weeks from now, we will be on the last day of the draft. This will be, well, the draft will be in the books. Hopefully the Dallas Cowboys can get some things together with this draft. And right now, things are a little bit quiet. In fact, as we get ready, because come the 19th, I believe, of April, just the week before the draft, teams will start doing OTAs. Now, the question is, will they be virtual reality workouts or will they actually be in person? The NFLPA is saying that, you know what, we'd really like to be able to have virtual reality workouts as opposed to actually having the players come in. Of course they would, because the players, we're talking about practice, not a game now. We're talking about practice. Nobody really wants to practice, but practice does make perfect. So we'll see how that all works out. But come the 19th, the players will start working out. And so this will be the first real workouts where the players and things will start kind of hanging out with the facilities. Now, the nice thing for the Dallas Cowboys is most of the Dallas Cowboys players actually live in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area. So having them coming in and working out, most of them are gym rats and are happy to actually be at the facilities. Whereas, let's say the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay, sorry, but most of the players, especially Aaron Rodgers, don't want to live in Green Bay in the offseason. They might want to be in California, Arizona, Florida, and things like that. So teams actually have to put into the contract workout bonuses. So they'll get paid a little bit extra if they show up in the offseason to work out. This is actually a distinct advantage for the Cowboys because, like I said, if you are a Philadelphia Eagle player, do you really want to stay in Philly? Do you really want to be in Philly any longer than you have to? I think not. Now, for the players, this is about the last 2 weeks before you really need to be back at home. And, of course, our quarterback, Dak Prescott, and his fiancée, Natalie, are in the Bahamas catching a little bit of sun, having a little bit of fun right now before the season starts. And, in fact, I think they're working on planning a wedding. That's right. They're kind of busy right now with getting that stuff squared away. Don't have a date for that wedding just yet, but you can best believe they are working on that wedding. So enjoy your time in the Bahamas right now. And come the 19th, Dak, I want to see you busting ass, getting ready for the season. I want you literally to shut up the haters. Speaking of the haters, Skip Bayless. I hate to give him anything, but it's amazing to me that literally 2 weeks before Dak got paid, he was out there saying, you know what, I hope that the Dallas Cowboys trade Dak Prescott, that they just literally just get rid of him. I'm just tired of Dak Prescott, the situation. Andy Dalton would be better for the Cowboys than Dak Prescott. That's the kind of stuff that we literally heard from Skip Bayless. And so now we've moved on from that because once Dak got paid, of course, Skip Bayless was there trying to dance, do a happy dance that the Cowboys had now got Dak Prescott and they're going to the Super Bowl. Okay. My batteries just died on one of the lights. Don't worry. Okay. So here at Broke Ass Media, we forgot to change the batteries. But anyway, it's kind of amazing how he flip-flops. So now the thing is back to Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott, Jerry Jones signed him to a 6-year contract. And, everybody looks at how much he gets paid. And I'm going to dare say that by next year and the year after, we're going to look at his contract, and it's not going to be as bad as we think. And if the Cowboys get their things together, I think Zeke Elliott will rebound. Because herein lies the problem with most fans and most – actually, you know what? Let's listen to Skip and company. Let's go here real quick. Let's listen to what they have to say on their argument.
Make or break for Zeke.
Skip, we don't normally see running backs after they lose it ever regain it. Because a lot of that has to do with sometimes the line gets old. And the running back is just a position, Skip. When you get that kind of mileage on you and you have those years, it's just hard to get it back. And what we've seen from Zeke, you've highlighted this on numerous occasions, we see where he was his rookie year and then his second year, third year, even though he missed, he would have led the league in rushing again, although he led the league in yards per game. He missed those, 6 games? He had an okay, he bounced back. But then we still see it keep creeping towards down, not up. And that's not good. But I think the biggest reasons why this is going to be break, Skip, you don't pay a guy $40 million and say, well, hand it off to the running back 25, 30 times a game. You're thinking about taking Jared's infatuated with Kyle Pitts. So if you got Kyle Pitts, you got Amari Cooper, you got C.D. Lamb and Michael Gallup, Skip, what the hell you think you're going to do with the football? You going to run it 25, 30 times? That's crazy.
I know he's 25. He does turn 26 on July 22nd, so he'll play next year at 26, but it's still crazy.
Yes!
It's crazy that he is now my X factor for how far my Cowboys go next year. Can they win the division? We got a bunch of cases bet on that.
Yes.
I say yes. Maybe by default. But
okay.
I'm going to go make for him, not break for him next year. But I do so without the usual courage of my conviction. I'll just tell you straight up, I'm barely hanging in with make instead of break. Because I don't have anything to back it up, except that Dak is back in the saddle. And that's his
There's a whole lot more, and you shut your ass up.
Actually, I just can't take Skip. I just can't take, you know what, just can't. All right, so here's the thing. If we're looking at here at the statistics, okay, of where Zeke Elliott was, and you can go through and you can look at his rookie year where he averaged 5.1 yards per average, 108 yards per game. 2017 literally dropped by a full yard because let's face it, that year was the year, of course, that it was suspend or no suspend, and it was literally week to week. He really didn't work out in training camp and literally dropped off the face of the earth, down to 4.1 yards per carry, 98.3 yards average, literally dropped 10 yards per game. 2018 rebounded, and that's also when we ended up getting Amari Cooper, where the offense was doing a lot of great things there, and bumped back up to 4.7. 2019, 4.5, but he was used less. He had actually dropped to 84.8 yards per game. Now, this is, you can look at this and say, well, Zeke was 5.1, and now he's 4 yards. You know, he's definitely going off a cliff. But I say, hold up for a second here. 2016 was the pinnacle of the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. From that point on, things started going downhill. In fact, that was the first year that Tyron Smith missed 3 games. 2017 was just abysmal between Zeke Elliott and, you know, having the suspension and no suspension and so on. And literally, we had Chaz Green starting for us. We ended up giving up 8 sacks in 1 game to the Atlanta Falcons. 2018, we started a rebound, but again, the offensive line was still in flux because we had Travis Frederick. Travis Frederick had the Hillian-Barr syndrome, and he was gone. You had Connor Williams, who was starting in there and just really kind of getting himself together. You had Zach Martin, who hurt his knee in training camp and was in and out of the lineup and missing his first game. You had Joe Looney starting in the offensive line. So 2018 was really a makeshift line. 2019, you got Travis Frederick back, but he was still not quite the same guy. And again, the offensive line has not been the same. Enter also that the Dallas Cowboys offense from the time we got Amari Cooper became more pass-centric. So looking at the numbers, Zeke was still averaging 4.5 yards a game. Carry, which is great. If we could keep 4.5 yards a game, a carry, I'm happy with that because this is going to still be a very pass-centric offense, and it is evolving what it's doing. Now let's go back to 2020. Let's be clear here. Our offensive line was atrocious. And herein lies the problem with a lot of fans. A lot of fans think that, a quarterback, doesn't matter if he doesn't have any wide receivers. Doesn't matter if he doesn't have any offensive line. The quarterback will literally throw the ball to himself and win games. Because that's what it seems like some fans will say, oh, yeah, if Aaron Rodgers, he's winning Super Bowls without anybody on there. Well, Aaron Rodgers has only won one. Russell Wilson, he's great, man. If we had Russell Wilson, we're winning Super Bowls. Well, Russell Wilson hasn't been to the Super Bowl in quite a long time. You need people around you. And let's be clear, our offensive line was truly ass last year. Our offensive line, and not to make light of it, but we didn't have Lyle Collins the whole season, who was penciled in to be our starter. Travis Frederick retired. Tyron Smith only played in 2 games. You just take those 3 right there. Connor Williams was our best offensive line all season. You had a rookie starting at center for Joe Looney because Joe Looney was out. You had an undrafted rookie free agent and Terrence Steele starting 13 games. With all of that, with that offensive line literally being trashed, the fact that Zeke Elliott was still 4 yards a carry is actually a miracle. The fact that he was still almost 1,000-yard rusher, I'm going to say if Tyron Smith can play the majority of the season, if Lyle Collins comes back right there, and Dak can play the season, that there's no way in the world that I think that his numbers will be worse. I will say Tyler Badish coming back, with a playing his sophomore year will be a better center, especially being able to put some more beef and stuff on here. If Zeke Elliott can get to 4.5 yards per carry and Dak Prescott is there, and basically we are throwing 3,000-yard receivers, which is very capable, and Zach can get, and Zeke can get over 1,200 yards, you don't need anything more. I would be content with that because that will help to prolong his career. Make no mistake about it. There weren't a whole lot of holes out there last season for Zeke Elliott to be able to run the football in. I can't lay everything on Zeke Elliott and saying Zeke was just ass. Now, I still believe that Zeke Elliott had some lingering effects from the COVID that he had over the summer. You don't know. And I think, a lot of people will say there is nerve damage and that you lose lung capacity for a length of time. If that was the case, hopefully he has that all back. I look for Zeke Elliott to rebound. So, guys, that's what we got right now for today. I'm really enjoying using the set here, although with this white screen and that light off, I look kind of pale. So let me change cameras here. Let me go back to this one. Definitely have to still do some working on the lighting because it's a certain way that you have to put the lighting so that way you don't hit the television screen. But we're going to get that all together. In the meantime, we'll keep on working on what we're working on. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching the Jobu Sports Report.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is